think we're live. No notification? This is weird. So we're all here? All right, so all these times that I've been streaming, I've been using the old classic edition. It wants me to start using, it wants everybody to start using the new YouTube. And every time they come out with something new, it's like a learning curve. So I decided, it said I only have until the end of this month before it's just automatically bring my channel to this. So I've never done it like this before. I'm actually looking at a screen that I have no idea what I'm doing, but it looks like we are live. I guess you guys can see me and hear me okay? I hope. Hopefully. So I have no other choice but to use this new streaming setup here, and I don't like it. I'm used to the other one. I don't even like how the questions are over here. It's like, bring me back to the other one. It's here we go. Well, anyway, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm good. I'm doing good tonight. Just finished filming a video today and editing it. It's probably 90% edited right now, and then I'll post it tomorrow. Coming on here for the nightly Sunday night stream. Checking in with everybody. I just hope everything here is correct. I'm just trying to go through some of these clickies right here. I'm not really sure. Webcam, manage. I could go back over to the classic, but I got to get used to this. So, Wahida's tired. Well, I don't have any choice because, I mean, I still do have a choice until the end of the month, but they've been, YouTube came out with a new version of everything, your whole YouTube studio, and I don't really like it. I like the original better. So every time I go to upload a video or go live, I got to hit classic version, and then it's like, are you sure? And it's like, yes, I'm sure. And then I get back over to the classic one that I'm used to, the one that I'm always uploading videos for you guys. And I just got a notification today that it said this channel is going to automatically merge over to the new studio at the end of the month. So I figured I better start getting used to it because I don't have any other choice. It's subtitling everything I say. That's weird because I don't see any of this. I'm over on the old classic edition too, and I'm not seeing it. Why is it not showing me the same thing it's showing you? Weird. So how many people are here that did not get a notification? Yeah, I definitely got to get used to this new it just, nothing looks right. So it's a different color too. I don't like it. All right, we're going to try to do it like that. Like usually the questions are all right in front of me, but right now they're like way over here. So I'm not even like looking at the camera. I'm like way down here just to read a question. So I could take the old one. We'll stop complaining and just do whatever. All right, here we go. I'm not getting subtitles either, so maybe you have your subtitles closed caption on. Ash, I did watch the tutorials on how it works. They don't really give you too many, and I just don't like the way it works opposed to the old one. The old one worked fine. Why fix something that didn't need fixing? All right, so what are we talking about tonight, guys? We have about an hour. Can I take my beanie off? Maybe another night. I don't want to take it off tonight. I'm completely bald. Yeah, it is. Oh, maybe this. No. That's not how I want it. It is kind of a little different here. Let me just mess with this real quick. There we go. That's good for now. There, I can see him a little bit better. Like my line of view reading is like right there. So new episode of Tiger King. Really? They're doing another one? Or you just haven't finished it? You went grocery shopping today? How was it there? Was there a lot of people in there? You know what they're doing here now? So I guess like the town executive or the county executive, or I don't really know who he is, but this is all in the news, I guess. I don't watch the news. My mom sent me the information. But he's implementing a 2-week quarantine where if you need to go to the grocery store, you're allowed to go. Well, I don't think it's that you're allowed to go, but they want you to go depending on when your birthday is. If you were born on an even year, you can go, I don't know, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays or something like that. And then if you're born in an odd year, you can go the other days. Brian wants to know if I watched The Walking Dead episode 15 yet. What season? So I'm a little behind right now. I couldn't really get into the new seasons, and I don't even know how many seasons there are, but I think I'm an entire season and a half behind. Maybe even 2. So, no, I haven't seen it. I was trying, because once I start something, I like to just finish it, but they've jumped the shark so long ago. Oh, a new season for Netflix, Tiger King? Is that what you're saying? You're grocery shopping right now, Ash. Oh, you deliver groceries? Are you, what are they called? Instacart? The sane vegan grows your own food. That's sustainable. That makes it so you don't have to leave the house. New life. That's what I said too, but it's not mandated. It's strongly suggested. Nobody's going to ask anybody questions. Hi, Julie. Just dropping in. Have to get back to work. Well, have fun with work. Working on a Sunday night. Have a good night. The sane vegan is raw vegan. So you grow all your own food. Just eat it right out of your yard. Do you have an indoor garden? Outdoor garden? Both? Did I hear about the tiger in Bronx at the zoo got COVID-19? You're saying the tiger got COVID? I didn't hear that. Oh, we're in the 10th season. I don't know if I'm going to give anything away here. So if you want to watch Walking Dead, close your ears. But I'll tell you where I am in there. So where I am, the part that I'm at, I don't know what season it is, but good old Negan is in a little jail cell, okay? And he talks to that little girl. I don't even remember her name. He talks to her sometimes. And I think he just got out because I forgot who it was, but that one dude left the door unlocked or something. And then he was taken, something like that. I think that's where I was, but I haven't seen it in a little bit. So maybe you know better than me what season I'm on. I really, really, really loved the first 3 seasons of The Walking Dead. We used to have Walking Dead parties and everything. Oh, so Julie was telling me last night, she messaged me in Instagram and was saying for notifications, and this may or may not help people for my notifications, but if you, let me find it. I've got so many messages here. Let me see. All right, so right here it is right here. So, all right, it's after this. Okay, right here. So she said if you actually, and I don't know if this is different with different phones, but I have an iPhone, and I'm assuming this is probably an iPhone. Maybe it's not. Anyway, go into your app notifications, and then where you have YouTube, like that, this is for notifications. Make sure it's allowed, because if it's not, you might not be getting notifications through, even though you might be getting them through your email or something, but maybe not through your phone. I don't know. But just a possibility that maybe you'll get notifications after that. Belle watched the first 3 and then quit. All right, well, then you watched all the good ones. They're just throwing gloves on the ground. Well, that's not good. There should be a specified wastebasket, garbage can for them to put their gloves in. Judith, yes, Rick's daughter. You're right. Okay, so I'm in season 9. Okay. So I only have like 20 more episodes to go to catch up with you. Boston Vegan Bean says we can only be out between 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Trini got a notification tonight. So some of you get them, some of you don't. And I don't know why. I have no idea, but it's disappointing nonetheless. All right, so what's good? What are we going to talk about tonight? Anything other than the same old, what's going on around us? Florida's crazy. People are everywhere. Where in Florida are you? That's produce. That's always that was my question for years and years and years. It's like, wait, you're not allowed to litter, but you see people flicking their cigarette out all the time. And then that's just considered like standard. It's gross. Yeah, I like seitan, but I don't eat it that much. You just went to Blackbird. Blackbird's pretty good. I've been there. I think I've been there Maybe I've only been there once. Yeah. What's everybody's favorite food? I always like pizza. I guess if you're talking about like a general food. Your aunt recovered from probable COVID. Well, that's good to hear that she recovered. You know, I think they're going to be... my sister was talking something. They're going to have tests for her to see if you actually had it or not. What do I think of the show you making vegans out to be a piece of? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, that's what I had there, Albert. The Philly cheesesteak and one of the pizzas. I forget which one. I've only been there once. Hey, Linda. Any other good shows to watch on any of the streaming networks? I've been to Pittsburgh. Yeah, I did a few videos there. I was there for George Romero's 40-year and 50-year anniversary for Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead. And I went to the Monroeville Mall. Pretty awesome. If you're a zombie fan. And I forget the places that I went to. The one place I went to eat was a pierogi. They had pierogies there, and I forget the name of it. We were just talking about that the other night. I could probably look it up. And we went to like a certified, documented haunted house. What's the difference between the tofu in the box and the one refrigerated in plastic? So the tofu in the box is a silken tofu. You don't want to cook with that. You just use it to bake or to make like desserts or smoothies or whatever, because it's very, it's not firm at all. It'll just, even the firm, it will just break right apart and it's mushy. The one that's refrigerated is the kind you want to like, that one you would cook with or season up and, you know, put it on an air fryer or a frying pan or something like that. So yeah, don't make that mistake, because if people make that mistake, they might be like, oh, tofu is disgusting. Oh, I'm a little backed up out here on the questions. Yeah. So I don't, there's so many people that are going to potentially get it. It's like doubling every day. Travis lives in Pittsburgh. I went there. I met up with Veg Inspired when they lived there. What was the other place? Zenith? Was there a place called Zenith there? I think I went there. Yes, Cynthia. I caught some of Christina's live when she was talking about that. Yvlani, how's it going? Yeah, currently I'm watching Better Call Saul, the what is it, the 4th season. It's really good. They say the blood type A are more. Yeah, I heard that too. I definitely heard that. I'm not okay with this. Crispy captures. I did watch that. It was pretty good. Do I like the herbivorous butcher? Yes. So yeah, I've been there a couple times, and I'm friends with the owners, Cal and Aubrey. Oh, sorry for your loss, guys, Megan and Lindsay. Apteca, yes, that's where I went. Oh, Vegan Games is having. Is he doing just a regular live stream, or is he playing games? What up, Emily? Rebalancer. Hi. Oh, Rebalancer. I played last night. I'm almost level 17. One bubble to go. More drama, expose more V. Huh. Yeah, Belle, you had the wrong kind. I have a video. The first video I did myself was how to cook tofu, right? If you get some extra firm tofu, the kind that's refrigerated in the little tub thing, make that and follow my recipe. And it's going to be completely different. You totally got the wrong kind. Yeah, that's gross. I did that before too. I tried to, long time ago. Is it 8:40 for anyone else too? It's 11:40 for me. Where are you guys? You're in Washington? Hi, Jesse. Do I have a discount code for the herbivorous butcher? I don't believe so. There's the butcher's son and the butcher's daughter, isn't? There's two of them. I went to the one, and it wasn't even vegan. It was just it was vegetarian, and I left. I went across the street to a vegan place. I think that was the butcher's daughter. What's my video going to be about tomorrow? I can't tell. I can't give it away. Well, if I put it at Premiere, you guys will know anyway. Basically, it has something to do with this whole what's going on right now. Why does the chat in YouTube default on the top chat rather than the live top chat? Is that what it's doing? Oh, I'm going to live. Okay, now we're at live. I had no idea that it was doing that. I want to see everybody's chat. If I didn't see it before, I just clicked it there. I don't know if that's because I'm on the new live streaming, what is it, live chat. Yeah, we're on live chat now. I was telling everybody earlier that I had to use the new version for the new YouTube Studio, which I wasn't happy about, but they're going to force me to do it anyway, so I got to get used to it. But I'm still over here on the old one. Have I tried all the Nanamu flavors? Yes, I have. I think that my favorites are the Rockiest Road and Birthday Cake. out of Nadamu. Okay, Kika. Yeah, then that's why. Yeah. When I see vegetarian, I'm like, oh, okay, so it's just like just a regular restaurant. When I pushed it over to live chat, is everybody's unique? Can like everybody do that, or did I have to do that for you? I'm just wondering. The dairy and meat producers are complaining that sales. Well, yeah, I mean that's just what's. How come I never had coffee before? Things when I was little really made an impact on me, I guess it is. So the reason why I never had coffee was because, well, I would always see my mom and dad drinking coffee, and when I was little, and of course I wanted some. And my mom's answer to me when I said I want a cup of coffee, she said, "No, this isn't for kids, it's for adults." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, because it'll stunt your growth. You want to grow tall, it'll stunt your growth." And I don't even know if that's true. I think she just said it to me. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to be this short forever, because I was like so short. And I just never wanted to have coffee after that. I'm like, well, I want to keep growing. And then that just stayed in my mind. And then I found out what Straightedge was. And then I'm just like, I don't need coffee. So at that point, I had never had it. So I said, well, I'm probably not going to, miss anything. I just don't want it. So that's why I never had coffee. Cynthia Hammett, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, you have to change it in your own settings. Well, just know that I have it right now. Unless I had like hundreds of people watching, I'm going to obviously put it on live chat so I can get as many questions as I can. But if I had like hundreds of people watching, I probably would have to put it on top chat, just because they would be going so fast. That's my goal, to someday get a chat that goes that fast. Now you guys all just start typing random things. I do want to say that I do enjoy the smell of coffee, just like I enjoy the smell of wine, but I've never had either. You get psycho on caffeine. Is John straight edge? No, John is not straight edge. So any products that somebody sends me that's not straight edge, John usually, well, he used to take them. People really did believe that coffee stunted their growth in the 50s and 60s. That's funny. I was never at the Portland Veg Fest, but I was at the vegan beer fest, which later turned into Eat Drink Vegan. And I was there a couple years, and I actually hosted it one of the years, or like I did a special guest appearance there, which was just, I got to go around to different booths and get food for a couple winners, and they were happy and I was happy, and it was fun. Freely says no to coffee too. Right on, Freely. You like the smell of fresh tobacco? Yeah, that doesn't bother me, but smoking, it absolutely bothers me. What I used to like the smell of pipe tobacco, not the smell of it burning, but just the tobacco. Your doctor told you that dandelion tea supplements could damage your liver. I haven't heard that one. would I ever date a non-straight edge vegan? If I were to date, yeah. I don't really know many people that are straight edge, for one. And, I think I would say most all of my friends, except for maybe like a couple. Actually, the one that was... Yeah, I only know a couple people that are straight edge, that are still straight edge. So, yeah, I don't have any problem. Just because I'm straight edge doesn't mean I'm judging other people. Like, I think I've said it before. None of my family are straight edge. Like I said, 99% of my friends are not straight edge. I only know a couple people that are. So it's not like I even really hang out with anybody that's straight edge. It's just my personal thing. And it's not like vegan either. It's like I'm not trying to convert people to be straight edge, or inspire people to be straight edge like I would want to inspire people to be vegan, if you know what I'm saying. They're two different things. Cherry tobacco. We had a neighbor that he would always smoke a pipe. I know that wasn't the story. That was the story. That was it. That's it. He smoked a pipe. My dad had a pipe, but he never really smoked the pipe. I don't think he ever smoked a pipe. But there's a picture of me with the pipe in my mouth when I was a little kid. Obviously not lit, no tobacco in it, just the pipe. Now we're all talking about pipe tobacco in my vegan straight edge live stream. No, I think if I smelled that right now, it would give me like an instant nostalgic feeling from when I was a little kid. There's a few things that can take me right back to being a little kid as far as smells go. One of them is my parents have this really thick, full of pictures and everything Bible ever since I was a little kid. And it smelled like a certain way. I can't describe it, but it had a certain smell to it. And if you just put that in front of my face and I smelled it, like it would take me right back to being a little kid. And I used to go through the pages were so thin, and there's so many of them. But I used to go look at all the pages. This was like a legit big Bible. I wonder if I could ever find that. They probably still have it. Yeah, I don't normally tell people I'm straight edge. It's just if somebody knows the term, it's just easier to tell somebody. It's easier to say, oh, I'm straight edge. So then they'll be like, oh, okay, so I won't offer you any alcohol or a smoke or anything like that. Oh, Travis quit smoking. Congrats, Travis. Hopefully that's it. 6 months ago, never again. I wish my dad would stop smoking. I've been trying to get him to stop smoking my entire life. I don't think maybe it tells over here. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm looking at the new layout here, trying to figure out how long we've been streaming for, but I see it now. Belle, you have a straight edge tattoo? I want to see it. Yeah, I got a bunch of friends that had straight edge tattoos, but all of my friends that had straight edge tattoos, all of them ended up not being straight edge anymore. It's so weird. I never got a straight edge tattoo. Has it ever been awkward when someone offers you something non-vegan or non-straight edge? I used to be really shy back in the day, and I was like always dreading that, especially if I went to somebody's house and they made dinner or they made food and stuff like that. Because I was pretty young when I went first vegetarian and then vegan. But I got over that pretty fast, and like it's not awkward anymore. If that does happen, it doesn't. I don't think it would happen unless it was complete strangers, you know. So, but I would always be very polite about it and just say, hey, thank you, but no, and normally I would just be like, no, I can't, I don't eat that. And when they kept insisting, then I'd be like, well, I'm vegan, so I don't eat animal products, so I'm sorry, but maybe next time I could bring a dish over, or we could make something, or maybe, because you didn't know, and so sorry, but thank you for the thought. As far as Straightedge goes, like I said, I told you guys the story recently when I was 21, when I turned 21 on my birthday. I was living in Sarasota, and I was with a bunch of my friends, and we were down this place called like 5 Points, and we were skateboarding, and then they were like, let's go down to this bar, and I'm like, I don't really want to go, but they all went, so I'm like, all right, fine, I'm going in with you. And we went into this bar, and there was this guy in there, and somehow somebody said that it was my birthday, my 21st birthday. He's like, oh, get him a drink. And I'm like, no, I don't drink. He's like, you're going to drink tonight. And I'm like, no, I don't drink. And he got me a drink, and he's like, here. And I'm like, I wouldn't take it. He's like, take it. I go, no, I don't drink. He goes, you're 21. You're not leaving until you drink this. I'm like, no, I don't drink. I won't drink. I'm straight edge. And he's like, you're going to drink. And they're all like, come on, do it, drink. And I'm like, I don't drink, and I'm not drinking, and I'm not starting, and I'm not doing it. And he just looked at me, and he goes, all right, more for me. And then they all started drinking, and I'm just like, so I never give in to peer pressure. So that was the one thing about me. Made fun of a lot in high school because of it, but nonetheless, never gave in to peer pressure. Hey, Jorge. How did I build more confidence? Actually, it was through my channel here. I kind of put myself in the position where I kind of forced myself to do something that I never wanted to do, and I had a reason to do it. Before, I just kind of like always made excuses and hid behind the fact that I just didn't want to be put in those situations. And this time I had to do it. And a couple of things that I would tell myself were pretty simple, but yet a little bit profound. I basically said, all right, so, right now, in this moment, it's my time, just like every other human that is alive on this planet now. Every living being on this planet, it's your time right now. It's my time just as much as it is anybody else's time. So who's to tell me that I can't take a moment and, do something without being so afraid to do it? Like, basically, I said to myself, in 100 or 150 years from now, nobody's even going to know me. Nobody's even going to know who I am, or, I'll be dead and gone, and, there'll be a whole other life. So since this is my time right now, then why not, what is stopping me from being so afraid or so shy that I can't just get up there and be confident in front of other people? And I kind of forced myself to do that until I was okay with doing it, because, a lot of times, this was mainly for me, I had to speak in front of audiences. I was asked to do presentations and cooking demos and a bunch of different things because of my channel. And I didn't want to say no to these opportunities, even though for me, I was so afraid to do it. So I kind of forced myself into that position to do it. And I told myself that, along with the other things that I just mentioned, I said, there's nobody better than myself to tell my own story. Like, who can tell my story better than me? I mean, maybe Stephen King can, but I'm just saying, like, I'm here to tell my story. And if people want to listen to it, then listen. But if people don't want to listen, they don't have to listen. So that's kind of how I did it. And surprisingly enough, I'm not stage frightened. I could get in front of a stadium of people. I could talk. I could do whatever I needed to do. Whereas before, I'd freeze up. It's happened to me before. I froze up. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. But I think, a lot you know, a lot came out of just having this YouTube channel. I could never do what I'm doing right now. I would sit there forever hesitating whether to press start on my live stream. You know, all ready to go. Okay, everything's ready. Everything's set up. All I have to do is click the button, and I wouldn't do it because I was too afraid. I was too afraid to be live. I know I'm talking to the camera, but I'm talking to however many people, 97 people watching right now. So I'm talking to 97 people, and you know, I guess I've learned to be able to do that. So I don't know. That's probably a longer answer than you guys were looking for. Lynn says you just watched the link to the video that I shot. Are you talking about the one from last night with Gary Yourofsky? Yes, I do believe everybody should watch that video. It's very eye-opening, whether you're a vegan already or not. Like I was saying last night, if you're not a vegan, definitely watch that video, and it'll tell you all the reasons why. And then if you are a vegan, it'll make you feel good that you are a vegan, even though you probably already feel good for being a vegan. But hello, Gomez. Let's see. New life, yeah, that's true. It sounds like the quarantine is creating family tensions for some folks. I can definitely say that my family was arguing just on text messenger. They put all of us into a big group earlier, and they were all arguing and stuff. And I'm like, guys, don't argue. But yeah, when people are around people. And they're not even around. They're all in their own houses too. So it's kind of. But the fact that we can't go out and visit or anything like that. You sent the video to your parents, the Gary video. He's also got a follow-up video to that Q&A. Ash, no, good question. I do not cook with wine or beer. So I did look into that. The alcohol that evaporates out of something, there's always going to be a very small percent that never evaporates out. And for that reason, I'm out. Crispy captures. Yes, I filmed the Gary Yourofsky video. Well, I was in California. I was hanging out with some other friends out there, Jason Robel, Eco Vegan Gal. I was with John and I think a few other people. I don't remember. We went to Shojin. This was years ago, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And Shojin is an all-vegan sushi place. We went out to dinner with Gary, and I sat next to him, and I was just like, yeah, I love your videos, like I love, you know, what you've done and everything. And he's like, yeah, and he told us a few stories, and you know, I asked him a bunch of questions, and then, you know, he said, you know, he's like, I have a new and improved condensed version of my best speech ever. And, you know, I've wanted somebody to shoot it for a long time, but every time somebody says they're going to shoot it, they always flake out. And I'm like, I'll shoot it for you if you're ever out on the East Coast. And he's like, I'll be in New York in March. And I'm like, all right, well, get a hold of me and I'll shoot it. And he's like, are you sure? Because a lot of people flake out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll shoot it. So he contacted me. He said, I'm going to be in Harlem on March 14th if you want to come shoot it. And I said, I'll be there. So John and I drove down there. We met him at the City College and set up our cameras, and we filmed it. He did the best speech ever. I edited it about 6 times to his liking, and then when he said it was all good, I uploaded it to YouTube. Boom. Viral video. For a good reason. So... that's how. And then we went out to dinner, or we went out to lunch right after that. We went to Candle Cafe. I have pictures somewhere. Sourdough doesn't contain alcohol because you need sugar too. There's no sugar in the sourdough. It's flour, salt, and water. So in order to get a good ferment, you need sugar too. But that's why I don't do kombucha. So I talked all about this to the experts. So the people behind Brine, what is it called? Brine, the one that do the sauerkraut. I think it's Brine, Wild Brine. So I was asking them, there's alcohol in this? He's like, no, there's no alcohol in this. It's fermented, but there's no sugar. So they know their stuff. What's my favorite dish I love to make? I have a few of them, actually. It really all depends on... I make a lot of smoothies, but I really love making pizza. And I haven't made it in a while, but I really love the dish bibimbap. It's a Korean dish. And I make it really delicious with my own recipe of, the tofu, cooking the tofu up right. And, everything else together. I do have a video on that, too, by the way. It's a very healthy dish, too. Yeah, I'll add that to the other ones. I just didn't get to... haven't really been on to I filmed a video today. Oh, look at that. I'll grab it right now. Okay, here it is. Copy. All right, I'm going to put it in the description down here. Well, maybe I can't do it until after it's over, but I'll just link it right here for you guys just in case anybody wants to see this afterwards. Not right now, but after this. Do I ever want short hair because of... No, you know what? Actually, because I had short hair for the majority of my life. So I actually like having long hair because I can have it down. And in your case, like you're saying right now, I can pull it back too. So, but it's actually kind of chilly here right now, so I'm good. That's okay, Crispy. Thanks for watching. Have a great night. Wait, what are we talking about here? I'm missing stuff. Produce, people that get offended when you say vegan, I would say those are the people that need to see this video from Gary Yourofsky, because for those of you that haven't seen the video, he talks about his analogy as blinders. Everybody has their blinders on, and you can give them the benefit of the doubt because they haven't been enlightened on why to go vegan. But once he's done with his speech, he basically says, I've taken your blinders off to the reality of why you should go vegan. And, likely people that get offended are people that just are really uneducated about this, and they're set in their ways or for whatever reason. But, you can't take that personal. You just got to find other ways if you even want to continue at it to try to, enlighten them, inspire them, make them change their mind, make them want to change their mind, give them the link to the video or suggest it. A lot of people are probably just gonna, like, if they're in that mindset anyway, they're probably just gonna blow it off. But if you plant the seed, then maybe at some point they might go back and say, well, I want to see what they were, I want to see what their side of the story was. But they're not going to do it in front of you. So, I mean, everybody's different. Vigo, oh, that's great to hear that. That. I guess that makes me feel good. Vigo says, I get sick of everything in time, but I haven't got sick of these streams. Oh, you really put the pressure on. I'm going to have to keep coming up with, I guess we're just chilling. We're just talking. I'd like to have more people on the stream, but like tonight, I don't plan on being on that long. Maybe just an hour stream, which means we have only about 10 minutes left. But like I said, I like to come on here every night. I've been doing it every night so that we have a place to talk. Knowing that we're all 11:11. It's 12:11 here now, but I always snap 11:11 on my Snapchat if I catch it, and I did it tonight, 11:11. So, but yeah, like I want to have a place to. Paul Bashir went vegan after Gary's speech. So look at that. So like, I don't know if you watched the one that I filmed or what, but look, we all have an interconnectedness somewhere. Yeah, I want to have a place for people to just like kind of talk, especially right now being this social isolation. I know for me, I'm going crazy. I'm just sitting here all by myself, with the pups. And so thank you for chatting with me because I've been sitting here talking to the dogs. What has me on a late schedule? I'm just a night owl. I prefer being up late and being able to sleep in. I'm not somebody that likes to get up in the morning really early. I'm a night owl. I feel like maybe it comes down to like I really love like the horror genre and stuff like that. And I'm not the kind of person that wants to watch a horror movie or anything in the daytime, but I will say at nighttime, I get way more inspiration, way more ideas to, for new content, for, that's, coming up with content for the movie that's coming out, all of that stuff. It's night. It's usually nighttime. So whereas you see like YouTubers that have really nice lights coming in and mine's like all dark, I'm sorry about that, but I try. How's Rachel? She's good. I think she's working right now at the hospital. She's one of the essential workers. Yep, Josh isn't here either. So it's just me. We're all kind of working. I'm just working from home. It's midnight in New York? Yes. Halfway between dusk and dawn. You get your ideas in the AM? I mean, don't get me wrong. I get ideas all the time, no matter what time it is, but like I like to go for like a nice late night walk and just breathe the fresh air and really think about ideas of what I want to do, and it all comes together up here, right there, somewhere up here. But then trying to actually do it is another thing. I wish I had my own personal camera assistant that can just, my cinematographer. You know what I'm saying? Because if I wasn't the guy in front of the camera and I was the guy behind the camera, I would be coming up with way more creative shots and all that stuff. But it's so hard when you're the guy on this side of the camera and you're doing it alone and nobody is there to help you get some of the creative shots that you want. And it's just a little bit more tricky. It's a lot more tricky. Thank you, Lynn, for the kind words. Yeah, and also produce. I would also add to that, like, a long time ago when I first went vegan, I was too afraid. I didn't know any of the facts. I mean, there was no YouTube, there was no internet when I went vegan, and there was no Google or anything like that. I didn't know any of the facts behind veganism. I just knew that I wanted to be a vegan. I honestly didn't know if I was going to be healthy or I didn't know any of the facts, really. It was pretty much all hearsay back then. But over the year, and I was shy, so if somebody was arguing with me, I pretty much just was quiet. And but now I, it's not like I'm one of those people that go out there and like try to shove it down people's throat, because I think what I'm doing here is the right way to do it. I feel like, or it's at least my way to do it. From what I've seen in the last quarter century of being vegan, I didn't like the people that just like, were right there in your face. Like, that's what I vowed not to be. But at the same time, I know enough now about veganism, and I've been vegan for over half of my life to have way more experience about it than somebody trying to talk against it to me. So if I get in an argument, or if somebody's trying to tell me that it's not good to be, just basically trying to put veganism down, I will, like, if they made the initiative to get into this confrontation with me, I will basically prove them wrong. I will have an argument with them, and I know all my facts, so I won't let down on it but I won't go up to some random person and be like, you need to be vegan and this and this and this and this and this and this, because then they're going to be like, oh, and they're going to look at it in a negative connotation. They're not going to want anything to do with it. They're going to think we're crazy. That's not what I want. But if somebody comes at me, and it's happened before, they're trying to start something with me, or they're trying to put me down, and I'll just come back at them with the facts, and I won't let up until I don't know. That's what I do. So I would say the best thing you can do is educate yourself. Look at some of these studies, look at what some of the vegan doctors are saying, look at what some of the vegan experts are saying, watch some of the documentaries, educate yourself on it before you because if you're not educated on it and you're trying to and you get in an argument with somebody about it, they're probably gonna win the argument and then make you look bad and then think that they won, even though all the facts are on your side, even though you might not be savvy about all the facts that are actually on your side. So I got in an argument at a family gathering with one of my uncles a few months ago, and he was basically telling me something that was not true, and I was basically saying no, and I told him how it was, and then he would say something else, and I realized that the whole entire table looked at me to like, okay, Chris, tell him, because I feel like they wanted me to like tell him what was up, but I don't know. That could be, I don't know if he's watching this or not, but like, like if you want to get a hold of me, like I can show you the facts. Like, I don't mean to go back, but I was right. He told me I was wrong, and like, I think he felt bad afterwards because he came up and shook my hand, and he's like, "Hey, I just wanted you to know," like, and I'm like, "No, I'm cool." So we are cool. He's one of my favorite uncles, so I'm not mad, but we got in a heated argument about something that I was right about. So ever play with a pig? And I don't know what that means. Yeah. Victor wants to know if anyone ever compared me to Jared Leto. No. No, yeah. Usually every other day I get told I similar or look like Jared Leto. A lot of people say that. And then there's a few people in here that say, you look nothing like Jared Leto. So apparently I look more like Jeremy Irons. Yeah, you're right, Jesse. When they start getting aggressive when they're losing, or it's amusing to watch anti-vegans be shut down, and then they go like Straightedge for one. He just watch him like debate with vegan gains, and he just no, that's not what I think, and if I don't think it, it's not true. I don't condone illegal activities. And I've seen that since I first went vegan, and I never agreed with that. I never agreed with it. Now, okay, so when somebody says you look like somebody, but then somebody else says, well, no, you're like, and they like pick apart every little fine detail. Like, I'm not saying I look like an exact identical twin, but I do see a resemblance. And apparently hundreds of other people do too. Because I've been told that for the past 7 or 8 years now. I think before I started doing YouTube, like when nobody like saw me, more people see me obviously now because I'm on YouTube, and my videos are seen by people all over the place. But before I was on YouTube, people told me I look like Chris O'Donnell, and I don't see that. I don't think I look like Chris O'Donnell, but that was back probably 15 or 20 years ago. I had short hair, so maybe, I don't know. I'll take a couple more questions, and then I got to get going here. If that's what we want to do. And I will try to remember to put that video in the link. I'm going to try to add that to, if I don't forget, I will do it. I'm going to put it in the link of all my videos so people can see why vegan. Boom, Gary's speech. No, Rabbit, I wasn't saying that you were or anything, but it just, some people do say that. Well, I don't know if the dogs have a ride. Yeah. I don't know if the person that wrote to me is in this chat right now, but somebody reached out to me a few months ago, and I think they said that they had a background in psychology or something. And I totally agreed with them. We came to the conclusion that I think that some of these anti-vegans, deep down, they know that they're not doing the right thing. They know that they're not being ethical, but they're trying to find a common ground with other people that also feel deep down guilty. And that's why they are making videos tearing apart vegans, saying that, the vegan diet is not sustainable. They're saying ridiculous things. Because deep down, unless they're completely insane, they have to know somewhere deep down they're wrong in what they're doing. Straightedge has gone out. People have said, people have even said my name in the chat. Straightedge says you can't be a long-term vegan. Anywhere past 5 to 7 or 8 years, you're just going downhill after that. And somebody mentioned Vegan Zombie. And for those of you that don't know, I've been vegan for over 25 years. And he's lying. He hasn't really been vegan. He probably cheats. He probably eats meat and dairy every once in a while. Like, there's no way that he would, and it's like, you're an idiot, Straightedge. You're an idiot. Any of my friends that you would talk to, everybody knows me, that would say, like, yeah, I'm obviously a real vegan. I have not eaten any animal products since September 1994. And I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm healthier than I've ever been. So I'm living proof that, yes, you can be vegan. And you know what? Most of those years, I wasn't even really interested in the health aspect of it. I was a junk food vegan for about 18 of those years, just eating whatever. I mean, when you start in 1994, the health craze wasn't really around yet. Nobody really said anything about hydrogenated oils and stuff like that. I ate whatever. If it tasted good and it was vegan, I ate it. So for those first 18 years or so, I was eating vegan junk food. And I was still as healthy as can be. And now, these last however many years, 7-8 years, I've been really trying to, buckle down and not eat some of the unhealthier foods. Although, I'm still healthy. So I just think it's ridiculous that, some of the nonsense that these anti-vegans are saying about vegans, because they have an agenda and deep down they feel bad. When did seitan become more widespread? I would say in the late 90s, early 2000s, because when I first went vegan, it wasn't really that popular. There was something called wheat balls that I always used to get, and like in today's standards, they weren't good at all. But back then, it was like a boxed powder that you mixed, and it was very similar to seitan. It might have even been a variation of seitan, or but you would break it up into balls, and then you would boil it, just kind of like seitan, and that's what we would have. Somebody asked me to do a video, and I really like this idea, so I want to do it. I really got to brainstorm though. They want me to do a video and make a bunch of meals that I used to make when I first went vegan. I thought that was a pretty good idea. But back then, like, I didn't really know what I was doing, and a lot of the foods I had back then that were vegan processed foods don't exist anymore. So I can only make some like very basic meals that I used to make. But yeah, seitan started picking up more, I think, in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then we did a few videos. Not our first video, but one of our first videos on the Vegan Zombie was how to make seitan. And I feel like we perfected it. We have about 3 or 4 different recipes for it, and we just tried all different things. And we have a really good, like a sweet seitan, and we have one that we made for a gyro, and then just a regular video for seitan. I used to go to this place in Ithaca, New York, called Shortstop, way back then, way back in the day. And it's not a vegan restaurant or anything. It was just kind of like a convenience store, but they sold these vegan subs, and they had seitan there from Susie's Seitan, which was made locally in Ithaca. And they would have the biggest one you could buy, and of course that's what we would get, was called the Grand Slam, because if we're going to drive over an hour to Ithaca, we wanted the biggest one, so if there was any left over, we would take it home. And so we would get the Grand Slam, which was about that big, a huge sub, and it was filled with seitan and whatever else we wanted on it. But then we would go to the Whole Foods store down there, or Wegmans, and we would get a jar of Vegenaise, and we would get some This was later on when the cheese started coming out, because again, there was really no store-bought vegan cheese until like the mid 2000s. There was some very basic ones that was really gross, and I would say one of the first ones that existed to this day that I think is still one of the best that a lot of people don't see and don't really talk about are the tofu singles. They're like those the plastic wrap open of like American singles kind of thing. And that's one of the first vegan cheeses that was around way before the Dea, and the first vegan shreds was the Dea shreds. And then, you know, a few years after that, all these other cheeses started coming out. But yeah, so we would go up to the college and we would slather it with Vegenaise and we would put the cheese on it, and then we would have like a proper sub. And yeah, a lot of seitan though. What else? There was certain restaurants, we obviously not vegan, but vegan friendly. We would find vegan options at certain restaurants that we would always hit up. You know, the other thing where there were these really good chicken nuggets, and I wish they just still made them the way they did, but they had these really good chicken nuggets, and we used to get those. We used to hang out at Wegmans. Wegmans, for those of you that don't know, is a grocery store up here. It's actually, it's been voted the best grocery store in the country, so it's a very good grocery store, and I've been going there since I was born. So they have a big dining area, but they're open 24/7. The dining area closes around 9 or 10 or something like that. And I used to go there with my friends. We'd go skateboard, and then we would stop to Wegmans because there were no vegan restaurants in Syracuse at the time. And, you know, it was better than going to like a place where all you could get was like French fries or something like that. So we would go to Wegmans. We would buy vegan food there. We would buy those chicken-free nuggets. I forget what the brand was, but it was like a dark black and green box, I think it was. And we would get those. We would cook them. They had a microwave there at the time. And we would go into the dining area after dark while it was dark in there. But it was lit well enough because it was right by the windows. We would all sit down and we would eat whatever. We would make all kinds of different food there. You know, somebody would buy cheese, somebody would buy a tofurkey, somebody would buy like the rolls and the Vegenaise, and we would just throw together a sandwich or something like that. Anyway, we would always get those chicken nuggets, and then one day I went there with John, and he grabbed the chicken nuggets, and he was eating them. He goes, they taste different. And I looked at the box, and it said new great taste on it, and I was like, oh, don't tell me. And I turned it around, and they weren't vegan anymore. So I think, you know, because that's why you always got to like look at the ingredients of something, because something like that, they were vegan and all the vegans knew that those were vegan. So once you know something's vegan, you wouldn't look at the ingredients again. You would just pick it up and you would make it because, you know, those were the vegan nuggets. But then they changed it without telling anybody. And I think a lot of people got really upset. And this was before that they would put any allergens on the box, like may contain or, you know, gluten-free or, you know, none of that stuff was on boxes back then. And this is probably before I even started the Vegan Zombie. So this is probably like 2005 or 6 or something like that. And anyway, we looked at the box and sure enough, it's not vegan anymore. So I think after that, all the vegans kind of boycotted that. And so then I think a year later, they changed it back to vegan because I think they lost a ton of sales after that. And so now they're vegan again. Oh, vegan. And they put vegan on the thing. But everybody was so like bitter that they did that. Still, nobody bought them. And they ended up going out of business because I haven't seen them since. And I forget the name of them. They also, at some point, they had not only the nuggets, but they had the chicken patties too. And do you remember they had like the riblets? I don't know if it wasn't that company, but another company had riblets. It might have been Boca. And those were vegan. And then they had these really, really good sausages. They were almost like a light color sausage. Like they were super good. And this is way back in like, you know, even in the 90s, I used to buy these. And then they made them, I I think Trader Joe's started selling, but they ended up changing the ingredients and putting egg whites in them. So then those weren't vegan anymore. But yeah, way back in the day, those were like legit good for like back in the 90s, and they still hold up today. But my favorite of all, and I always argue with my friend Joel, who owns Strong Hearts, with this. He says I'm remembering wrong, but I know I'm not. So there's some actual pictures of me eating. I showed you guys some pictures back in the day when I first went vegan. They had these burgers. I don't know if they were Wegmans only or where else you could buy them, but they were called Harvest Burgers. And the original package, it was like, it showed a couple burgers on a grill with a bunch of flames coming up. They were completely vegan burgers. They came with 4 in a pack, and they were, I would love to eat one right now, but they went out of business years and years ago. So if you weren't vegan, you know, if you haven't been vegan more than like probably like 18 or 19 years, you've probably never seen them. But these were my favorite burgers. There was a certain way I would cook them, and I would usually cook them and put them on like a toasted, like I would butter my like a bagel and then toast it and then put it on that with like lettuce, tomato, onion, and like some like barbecue sauce or something like that, and veganese, and it was so good. And they stopped making them. And I think those burgers like would legit hold up today against, you know, the best burgers out there today. I know, and I'm not saying that they're like the Beyond Burger or anything like that, like tasting so much like meat, but for what they were super good. Vegan Police, you remember those? Does anybody else have that memory as me? Like, they were good, right? Maybe I just made them good. I don't know. They were so good. Yeah, the riblets, at one point they were vegan. I don't know if they're not vegan anymore, but yeah. And they were super good too with the barbecue sauce. You worked at a Harvest restaurant in the 1970s. I wonder if that's the same company or if it's the same burger, but it was legit good. Hi, Devona. Thank you. Oh, I would buy a case of them if they came back out with them. You know what I think happened? I think another company bought them out and then phased them out and stopped selling them. I think it was Green Giant that bought them out. Green Giant, or I don't think it was Morningstar, but maybe it was. Whoever bought them out changed the package. It was still the same burger. And then like a few years later, they were gone. Completely gone. Yeah, so the bagels, I would butter them. Because back then we had to find, I think the only butter back then that we could find that was vegan was, I think, called Willow Run. They didn't have any earth balance or anything like that. It was Willow Run. It was a soy-based. Obviously, it wasn't that good for you. It was hydrogenated oils and stuff like that. But who knew? Nobody knew back then. So that was the butter that I used to use. And I used to butter the bagel, and then I used to toast it so it was nice and like just that perfect like golden crispiness. And then that's how I made my burger. It was so good. So I think I'm going to do a video where I show you guys how I made some of the first foods I made when I went vegan, if I can remember everything. Yeah, if you guys like the stream, please give me a thumbs up. We have 107 people here. Just go ahead and press that little thumbs up. Make it shoot up to the sky. Let's see if we can get that up to at least 90 before I got to go in a couple of seconds here. Produce says, do you think it's okay to buy vegan products that were bought out by big companies? Yeah, I actually did an entire video on this because Field Roast was bought out by Maple Leaf. And yeah, I think it's okay. Now, if you only want to support vegan companies, that's one thing. But to tell people not to boycott them or something like that, that's counterproductive. There is a supply and demand, and we want these companies to start seeing a rise. Like, for instance, Ben & Jerry's. If nobody bought their vegan ice cream, they would stop doing it. They only started out with 4 flavors. Now they got over 20 flavors. The revenue is like increasingly going up for the vegan flavors, which means more room to continue entire facilities making only vegan ice cream. And hopefully what this does is it diminishes demand for the non-vegan ones. So that's what we want. We want the supply and demand. If we boycotted them and there was no demand for it, then they're not going to make it anymore. And they're just going to be like, vegan doesn't work. We're sticking to the dairy. And that's not what we want. So it's counterproductive to boycott these companies. And like I said, I understand. Like I try to, if I do buy something, I try to only buy, like I try to only buy from like the smaller vegan companies if I'm going to do it. But if there's nothing else available and I need to get something, then I will get it. But yeah. Yeah, they have so many flavors now, and they even have a flavor that's exclusive to dogs wiping his nose on my hand. Not cool. Target has an exclusive flavor where you can only get it at Target. So that makes it like even more like, oh, I got to find this flavor. It's actually a really good flavor. But to this day, I would say that the Netflix and chilled is the best probably vegan ice cream I've ever had. And when I say vegan ice cream, I mean that would be the ice cream, like ice cream, non-vegan, whatever. Where am I off to at 1 a.m.? Well, I was going to try to relax and watch a Netflix for a little bit, but I also wanted to stream over on my Twitch account, which I've been doing, which I actually did last night for a while too, but I want to go back and do that. I had a lot of fun doing that last night. So if you guys are subscribed to my Twitch stream, it's a little different than this. There's about 100 less people in that one. There's only like 9 people in that at a time, sometimes less, but I have a lot of fun doing it. And I know gaming isn't everybody's forte, but like I said, I'm still there. You can ask me questions, and we can hang out while I'm playing the game. What's the flavor? The flavor for Target is, I think it's called like salted chocolate swirl or something like that. It's really good. But if you ever find the Netflix and chilled, that's the best one I've had. Yeah, Now, guys, know this. There's Netflix and chilled, okay? There's a non-vegan one and there's a vegan one. So make sure you don't get the non-vegan one. If you're going to get it, make sure it's the vegan one. But it's by far the best I've ever had. Over there, I've been playing EverQuest. I played a little bit of Warcraft today, but I didn't Twitch it. My friends Josh wants me to play, and my other friend Jay, they want me to play. So I might play that and stream that to the YouTube account, not Twitch. My Twitch is the Vegan Zombie without an E at the end. So just the Vegan Zombie with the I at the end. And it's just over on Twitch. I think if you go to my main channel, The Vegan Zombie, and you go to my video description, I think the link is right there for my Twitch. Stop being against video games. I've tried the Magnum ice cream non-dairy once. It's pretty good. Oh, wow. We got a bunch of... Thank you guys for the little thumbs up there. Appreciate that. Do you need a membership? Well, Twitch is free. You can follow me or subscribe. If you subscribe, that costs money. But you can follow me for free and watch all my content for free. Yeah. You don't need you just got to sign up. You don't need like a paid membership or anything. What does it taste like? It tastes like, it's amazing. It's got these big chocolate fudge brownie chunks in it and like a pretzel swirl. It's not crunchy. It's like a pretzel. I don't even know what to call it. And like, what is it? I don't even, yeah. I forget. But I posted it. Let's see. How long ago did I post it? Speaking of which, I haven't posted anything in a while. Let me try to find it real quick for you. Netflix and chill. For those of you that haven't been following my channel for that long, I got invited to... I was one of the influencers to go to the Ben & Jerry's last year, so I got to meet Jerry, and we got to see their whole production line of their vegan flavors, and we got to talk to them and all kinds of stuff. All right, so that's what it looks like. So make sure you get the frozen non-dairy if you find it, and it is almond milk base. Okay, so it's peanut butter. Peanut butter with sweet and salty pretzel swirls and fudge brownies. The chunks in there are like that big. They're like that big each. I mean, seriously. And just a little behind, little fun fact. The reason why Ben & Jerry's became famous is because Ben had a problem with his olfactory, so he couldn't really smell, which means he couldn't really taste. So every time they made ice cream, he couldn't really taste it. So he said, make the chunks bigger, because he wanted to be able to taste it. So they made the chunks bigger, and then they kind of they blew up. That's how they made it way back in the 70s or whenever they started. It was because Ben wanted big chunks. So that's why they became famous, and that's why they put the big chunks in there. So yeah, I should probably get going though. Yeah, peanut. So if you're allergic to peanuts, then it's probably not for you. I love peanut butter too. All right, guys. I feel like I've been talking and not really reading the questions too much, but I hope you enjoyed the live stream and reminiscing with my whatever's up here. So hopefully we can continue on this tomorrow night. But I'm probably going to take a little break, maybe go watch a little bit of Netflix, and then head over to Twitch. I know it's kind of late, so I'm not sure what I'm doing. But have a great night. Watch out for zombies, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And don't forget to thumbs up if you haven't already. All right, guys. See you later.